that women are only relegated to do these jobs because they have the best traits to do the jobs. I would just give the kind of counter response that no, they're relegated to do those jobs even though men can do those jobs because those are the jobs that women are capable of doing, even though men are equally as capable of doing them. And by the way, I will go ahead and give you the benefit of the doubt that I'm wrong. All you have to do is give me a single job that you think that men are not just as capable of women at doing, and I will do the same with men to you. Go ahead.
Andrew Wilson shreds these entitled feminists for not being grateful to men for the tough jobs that we do to keep civilization going. In this debate, as Andrew Wilson on the Whatever podcast takes on this panel of delusional women and absolutely crushes their entire argument and shows how men are literally better at everything than women. Let's get in.
All right, this is a man. Not a lot of women are willing to do this job. Not it doesn't appear particularly dangerous, but it's dirty and it's gross.
Did you ask women that if they were willing to or not?
Yeah. It's been available to them. Sanitation workers have been available to them.
Can I ask you, are you scared of spiders?
Yes.
Are you scared of spiders? Be honest. Hold on.
Touch My Blade donated $200. I personally find it easier to learn language after I have shelter, food, water, security. Only mainly because without those things I'm not alive to learn language. That's just me though.
He's got money.
Scared of spiders?
Mosquitoes?
Scared of spiders?
Terrified of them.
Scared of spiders?
No.
No?
No.
No?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Okay.
You?
Well, not scared of spiders.
Cockroaches.
Not scared of
Spiders.
spiders.
Okay.
What's his name? Are you scared of spiders?
No.
Have any of you ever
that
I just
asked?
crush them with my hand.
Yeah, it's because you're men, right?
But have any of you ever lived with a man or been in a room with a man and there was a bug of some kind?
Yeah, and he ran away screaming, so I got it for him.
That's a
Okay, well, you date soy boy liberal cocks.
That's pretty funny.
I mean, it is what it is. But look, I've encountered my own anecdotal experience. I have spiders. I've had spiders in my rooms. Women are like, a spider.
I mean, you've been with.
But I'm not. I don't.
Say that about everybody. You're with submissive women that are willing to just do whatever you say.
Exactly.
What?
That's what you expect. Why would that's what you just told me, but about men.
Submissive to you.
You panicked when a guy had an unloaded rifle. What are you talking about?
Would you if someone had a gun towards you? If you didn't know
an unloaded rifle? That your boyfriend walked around with an unloaded rifle?
Should we play the other one? Let's do the other one really quick. Exactly. All right. What about this? Okay. All right. Now this is really intense.
That is so sick.
He chose to do that. Ain't nobody told him to get that job.
Well, someone
Here's
has
the reality.
to do it.
Yeah, somebody has to do it. Women ain't trying to do this shit.
Oh, fuck that. I would do that shit.
You see the lights in here? You see the lights? You know when it's fucking freezing?
You would do that?
Yeah.
Some women would.
But you know the
Do y'all enjoy light? Do you like electricity?
What do you do right now?
You? Me?
Yeah.
I just moved here, so I'm just in school.
Yes.
Well, what have you done before as a job?
Work?
Yeah.
I was a ride operator.
You were a what?
A ride operator?
What is that?
I operated rides at Six
Like a
Flags.
county.
At Six Flags?
You mean he had the little switch panel and you pushed the button and it made the ride go?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I got it. You would climb up there in the middle of a snowstorm to do that job?
I would. If I was trained, yeah.
Anyways, all right.
I believe you.
I really forgot, so if you can remind me.
I was like, do you guys
the spider
enjoy?
thing.
I was like, do you guys enjoy electricity?
Yeah.
And you were like,
so,
do you?
Well, yeah, right.
But the difference is,
can you survive off of it? You can't.
Yeah, but the difference is, I acknowledge that if it wasn't for men who are in infrastructure jobs, we would not be enjoying the electricity which we have.
It's just electricity. Like, yeah, men do the job for it, but like at the end of the day,
do you realize how important
why are you, like, praising
electricity is? Even if we didn't remove,
it's just electricity.
If a female wanted to do that,
hold on.
then
Even if we didn't
too.
even if we didn't get rid of like the sewage and the telecoms and the trucking and the transportation.
Girls are truckers
hold on.
too.
Okay.
They
Even if we didn't get rid of those other things, do you realize how pampered the lives we live are? If we singularly got rid of electricity, we would all be like collectively panicking and fucked. If it's in the winter, we're dead.
Yeah,
No, not
I
all of us.
100%
Not me.
agree with you.
Not me,
I never
I'm
said
good.
I
The human
didn't.
race
But
But I
survived
just
and they have
asked
no
you,
electricity.
don't you need electricity
Like, that was
too?
the thing.
That's
Yes,
all I
but I'm
asked you.
grateful for the men who provide it,
Perfect.
while
I'm
your
grateful for
pampered
having
asses
electricity.
have contempt for men.
I'm grateful for everybody that has put the
And you
effort
don't-
to give us electricity. Everybody, male, female. Because you're telling me not one female has not helped?
Of course.
Oh my
It's
God.
all just male,
Also,
male,
though,
male, male,
yeah.
male.
I mean, there's
Men
also,
are look here. Here's the point blank.
We need someone to
Men-
sign the paychecks for sure.
Men are unilaterally responsible for every bit of comfort and security you are currently ungratefully enjoying. That's the difference. I acknowledge.
I pay my taxes.
I don't have that kind of job, but I.
Touch My Blade donated $200. Internet is cool. Phones are fun. Any deep sea divers in the group? What is your favorite welder? You more a migortic gunnagal?
I mean, there was an era where electricity didn't exist and the human race did just fine. That doesn't mean it's not a great thing. But also, if we're going to talk about what roles
do you think
are
they were
more
doing
important than
before that,
another
though?
one, if we're going to talk women, if women are delegated to second class whatever roles,
That's
those
not-
are okay. Well, if
All
you
right.
think there are
What-
certain
go ahead.
positions meant for women, and then we,
I'm not even saying that. But go ahead. Go ahead.
so
go
you're
ahead.
saying nothing is then.
Just go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead with your point.
If those are caregivers, nurturers, educators, are those not just as important as
Nope.
the physical aspects of this world?
Nope.
So if women are delegated to these roles, or if they're better at these roles, it's because they have specific traits that men don't, which is empathy, caring, love, whatever. And that's not to say men don't, but it's
Well,
less.
no, that
and so
wouldn't
what if it's
tell
just
it
the
they-
world of men who are in
So first off, I have to say, this girl in the pink on the right, there is no way she's going to climb up there. She's going to walk outside, feel how cold it is, and run right back in. That's total BS. And this woman in the back who's saying it's all been men, there hasn't been any women. So what if there was one woman? So what if there was 10? So what if there was 1,000? Out of the millions and millions, they could all be replaced by men. It's optional. They were not needed. They were not required to do any of that. Every building, bridge, road, everything was designed, built, mined, constructed, everything by men. And the modern woman today is completely unappreciative of their existence. They have no idea how worse it can actually get. Like they say they acknowledge it. No, you really have no effing idea. You have no clue how worse it could be. And then when that happens and shit hits the fans, that's when they're going to be like, oh, I need a man, after they've been shitting on them this entire time. These women are ungrateful, delusional, and live in another reality. And I would also argue against this woman on the back right that women are more caring, loving, empathy. No, I don't believe that. I think men are. And I say that based on the results, because children raised with men in the house or by single parents with just a man go far better, safer, more stable than otherwise with just a woman. If they produce better people, how can that not mean that they had more empathy, more love, and more of everything that was needed to actually raise that child into a good, healthy person? Again, a man can do it, and a man can do it better. But let me know down below if you can think of anything that a woman can do better than a man can. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the video, and let's get back in.
like the higher class levels, then a world of
wait,
like sociopaths.
Higher class? Wait, what do you mean higher class levels?
I mean, sorry, like you said first class or first level, second level.
You're going
whatever.
back to Andrew's argument.
Yeah. So when you're talking about traits, so I'd reject your first premise where you say women are doing these jobs because they have traits which acclimate them to the job. So I just kind of reject that and say, well, no, I think that they do those jobs because they don't have the traits to do the other ones.
That's what you're assuming.
So then
though.
men are doing the roles that they're doing because they have better traits.
Well, they
but
have the
women just don't have any
capacity.
traits
They have
that
the
apply in
capacity.
Or they
position.
prefer it.
I'm
Okay, so
trying
then
to-
you're saying that
well,
women do the
Let me
nurturing.
answer the question. Hang on. Let me answer it. Okay. What I'm saying is that if you were to take away the idea that, it could be that women are only relegated to do these jobs because they have the best traits to do the jobs, I would just give the kind of counter response that no, they're relegated to do those jobs even though men can do those jobs because those are the
Not as
jobs
well.
that women are capable of doing, even though men are equally as capable of doing them. And by the way, I will go ahead and give you the benefit of the doubt that I'm wrong. All you have to do is give me a single job that you think that men are not just as capable of women at doing, and I will do the same with men to you. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, parenting, mothering, nurturing, educating.
What parent? Wait,
Educating,
I'm sorry.
definitely educating.
Hang on, I just want to make sure.
Anything that has a
One at a time. One at a time. So let's start with mothering, right? You would agree with me that women only do that job because they're the only ones who can be mothers, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Great, then
But
I-
when you're talking about parenting, there's no way you're ever going to say that women are just better parents than men, or men can't do that job as well as women, right?
but
You would say that?
I would say yes. More fathers are absent than mothers.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the capability of men to do the job of parenting is not equal to that of women.
How?
Oh, then a woman can easily do electricity.
You're making this kind of great conflation that because they can't. I'm making the exact opposite
So
argument.
because women don't go for these jobs, they can't?
No. That's a different argument. So your argument was if they're relegated to those roles by men, then they're relegated to those roles because men think that they're valuable in those roles because they have the traits that acclimate them to those roles. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying no, that men can easily do those jobs just as easily as they can do the jobs that they're in now, but the reverse is not true.
Okay.
So when you say parenting, I think that men are just as capable of parenting as women.
Okay, we can disagree.
You don't think they're just as capable?
So why is it that you
Wait,
think-
hang on. You don't think they're just as
Well,
capable?
I think just like you don't think women aren't as capable for certain positions, I think men aren't as capable for other positions
What?
that are equally as important
What?
that I just named.
What?
Educating, nurturing, parenting, literally
Why-
any
wait.
of these roles that you think are delegated.
You think
delegated
why?
to women.
Like
Well,
what?
then why do you think these other
Well,
positions
I'll
that
tell
men
you.
have
I'll
are-
tell you.
Tell me.
I'll tell you. But
Sure.
let's start. We already went over soldiering, for instance, right? And no, women are not just capable of men at soldiering. No, they're not.
I didn't say they were.
Now, I'm saying that's my example then. Your example. I would like you to give me whatever your evidentiary is that men are not just as good at educators as women. Let's look at professorships. Let's look globally at professorships.
Well, then let's look at
hang on.
doctors
Let's
and
look at
lawyers
scholars.
and
Let's look at
engineers
doctors.
that
Let's
have
look
had
at lawyers.
awards that are women.
Well, wait. I'm not disputing that women can do those jobs. Never disputed it. I'm just telling you that men can do them equally as good. And so if that's the case, I'm giving you counterexamples where women can't do this job equally as good.
Like sanitation?
So I really don't understand the equation, right?
And also in terms of parenting, if you look at the stats of single mother households compared to single father households, the single mother households are much more likely to produce criminals, to produce people who are mentally ill, to produce people who live in poverty, feminists, male feminists, and the like.
Male
The
feminists.
father isn't
Those
present,
mother.
and a
That
baby
personal
needs both
experience?
parents.
No, this is
Wait,
statistics.
wait.
Yeah.
Hold on. Jake, can you give your concrete?
See, that's a
concreting
great
example?
feminist counter. Actually, the great great feminist counter is, well, that's because men aren't present. So all the data is coming from single mom households because there's so many of them to choose from. I agree with that. Actually, that's a great counterpoint.
Thank you.
The problem is that
Okay.
now we're able to. Now the court system has changed. Men are able to get custody of their children more. So now what we can do is we can look at the data of.
That's true. They struggle more in court.
Yep. So now we can look at the data of what happens when you grow up in a single father household versus a single mother, and we can draw it 1-to-1. The outcomes are still better in a single father household than single mother.
Well, that's a very.
I think that's very
blanketed
opinion.
statement.
Wait.
That's
so,
not opinion.
Jake,
There's a
do you
lot
want
of
to give?
Women don't make better educators. They don't make better nurses. They don't make better anything by default as compared to a man. Why? Because we built everything without them in those positions. They were never required. And now women being in a lot of these positions actually creates more chaos than otherwise. That's why you can't trust a nurse, because she's probably banging, the doctor and half the staff on the floor. I mean, you see that with all the tats and the behavior, like, don't trust a nurse. Odds are she's probably a 304. But if you were to grant these feminists the argument that, okay, you are more, you do have more empathy, you are more caring, you are all of that. Okay, let's say you are all of that. If the results are still in spite of that single men produce better offspring than single mothers, then what good does it really matter? How much is it really worth at that point? If it doesn't produce anything better, then it's not worth as much as what the father is doing. So whatever he's doing is more valuable than your empathy and your love or whatever BS that you want to conjure up. So either way, it's useless. Either way, you still cannot produce the same outcomes as fathers. Why? Because men are just more capable than women. Doesn't mean that women can't do them, but on average, We can do them, but there's plenty of things that women cannot, and the delusion has got to end. But folks, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought about what Andrew Wilson had to say, completely shredding these feminist argument in this clip. Thanks again, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.